You're 11, your mom goes into labor, and you gotta help. Now, normally, if you heard, the bridge is floating down the river, you'd think there's a big problem. Well, in this case, it's a big solution. Oh, and if your name is Josh, I'd like to introduce you to your king. Let's take a look on the bright side. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the bright side. I'm your host, Bob Herzog. Let's clap it up. Yeah, let's clap it up. You're randomly clapping at work as you watch this. People are looking at you weird. Don't care. Keep on clapping, because here's what you did last week. You helped the bright side get viewed, at least briefly, 42,000 times. Because of you, almost 4,000 people watched all 18 minutes of the episode. Think of that. In an environment literally built to get you moving on to the next thing, that many people took the whole thing in. And so much of that is because of that very last number. Around 400 of you shared the episode to your page. That is the game, my friends. Your friends, your families, they see that you enjoy this little weekly dose of goodness, and so they check it out too. So keep sharing, share right now, because we're doing it. We're doing it, friends. Thanks for helping make the interwebs just a little more tolerable. Now, I don't know how many of you out there right now are named Josh. Facebook and YouTube, they don't provide me with analytics quite that detailed. I mean, I do know that around 40% of you are women between the ages of 25 and 54, but I don't know my Josh percentage. I do know, however, if you're named Josh, you now know the leader of your people, your clan, your house at Hogwarts, if there was a Josh house. Yusef Nasser has more on a battle royale in Nebraska to determine the fate of Joshes everywhere.
It was an absolute Josh pit at Lincoln Air Park on Saturday. Big Josh, Spider Josh, Little Josh, a plethora of Joshes gathered from all over the country to compete in the ultimate showdown.
I'm coming from Minnesota.
I'm coming all the way from Dallas. So I'm from Omaha.
I'm from Wichita, Kansas. I drove 4.5 hours to be here.
And of course, the man who started it all, Josh Swain of Arizona.
I'm feeling pretty insane right now. It's kind of out of body right now. I honestly couldn't really tell you. I have probably a billion thoughts going through my head at the moment.
A year ago, Swain took to Facebook and challenged as many Josh Swains as he could to a battle royale. The winner would earn the right to keep the name. As the idea went viral, Swain decided to use the opportunity to contribute to charity, the Lincoln Food Bank, and the Children's Hospital and Medical Center. Josh Swain of Omaha took a year to prepare and competed in an epic duel of rock, paper, scissors, best of 3. They tied 3 times straight, but the original Josh Swain emerged victorious.
I found another Josh Swain. That was amazing. Did not expect that to happen. And I came out on top.
That's when the real competition began. Joshes from all over gathered in a circle to compete in a noodle fight. After an intense competition, the tiniest competitor, 4-year-old Josh Vincent Jr. of Lincoln, affectionately known as Little Josh, came out victorious.
I always fight everyone.
You fight everyone!
How much fun did you have out there today?
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
It's pretty awesome, man. He's going to remember this for the rest of his life.
It was like Highlander for Joshes. There can be only one, and that one is Little Josh. Now, winning a pool noodle battle and being crowned king with headwear from Burger King, that's a very kid-sounding thing to do, right? But sometimes kids have to take on some very grown-up responsibilities, and sometimes those responsibilities are real eye-openers. A Pennsylvania 6th grader is being called a hero for helping his mom deliver his little brother last week. Christopher McGough's mom went into labor early while his dad was out of town on a business trip.
I heard her yell, "I need help," so I rushed downstairs to see what she needed. And the baby was just like coming out. And I had to run up and down the stairs getting towels for her to use to wrap around the baby.
He was like, well, the paramedics are coming, and then I pushed again and then kind of just caught the baby and then put him like on my chest, and then 2-3 minutes later the paramedics come walking in.
It was a huge relief. I was just started taking deep breaths.
He surprisingly was extremely calm for the whole situation that was going on.
You can kind of see it in Christopher's eyes, can't you? He is not the same kid he was a couple of weeks ago. But this is my favorite part. After the paramedics arrived and he knew his mom and his new baby brother were going to be okay, Christopher got on the bus, went on to school. At this point, I like to imagine what happened at school, and I really hope in his 6th grade they still have recess. I just see Christopher gathering his posse around the monkey bars, saying, boys, I got a story to tell. I've seen things, fellas, things that you need to know, so brace yourselves, sit down on the rubbery mulch as I tell a tale of many towels. Hey, joking aside, those brothers are going to be bonded for life, and right from the very start for the little guy. In this next story out of North Carolina, a brotherly bond took a lot longer to form, like 60 years. Jackie Pascal was there for an emotional moment.
You do it.
Family reunions are especially meaningful after a year in this pandemic. But these brothers have been waiting nearly 60 years for this hug.
Feel at home?
Yes. Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. I was born in North Carolina. I'm home.
Martin Hooser was adopted as a baby back in 1962 in Guilford County. Many years later, when he started a search for his biological parents, Hooser says he tried ancestry sites and DNA but got nothing. But a change in North Carolina law finally allowed him access to his dad's death certificate.
That's when I knew my daddy's name was Joseph B. Shaw Sr. And on the bottom it said next of kin, Joseph B. Shaw Jr. And within 15 minutes on Facebook, I found him.
Imagine getting that message on Facebook. Shaw told his fiancée, and they were shocked.
I was like, look, I was like, somebody just messaged me thinking, Mom, we're brothers. And I said, well, she said, well, call him, call.
They've talked on the phone just about every day since, that is, until now.
Oh, I love you so much, buddy.
Hooser and his wife flew from Phoenix, Arizona to make sure they could see Joe and Melissa get married this weekend.
And I can't wait to see them two get hitched.
Before that, they have some catching up to do. Nearly 60 years of life, kids and grandkids, and they are meeting this weekend too.
Not all of our kids are coming, but a lot of them are. And
that'll be so cool.
So see them all together and take pictures. And
big family reunion.
Yes.
Both their families finally all together, back in the state where it all started.
In the immortal words of Chris Farley and Tommy Boy, brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug. And never is that truer than when brothers see something special involving their dad. So this next one definitely checks that box. A bowler in Illinois managed to share a perfect game with a little help from his late father. John Hinkle Jr. from Peoria, Illinois, had a friend seal his dad's ashes into the bowling ball. Well, he and his brother celebrated with a whole lot of tears after he bowled with it earlier this month. And again, he bowled a perfect game. Watch, I believe this is the last strike right here. And you can just see him. He can hardly move. So their parents were bowlers, and Hinkle says the brothers almost gave up the sport after their dad died in 2016, but instead he chose to honor his father by using that ball. Hinkle says he'll retire the ball after playing in a big tournament he and his father used to play in. Brotherly love, man. Fathers and sons. Now how about fathers and daughters? Only this time we're not knocking down pins, we're going to throw some corn. This father-daughter duo wants to become the world's best cornhole team. Maggie Geiger and her father, Wayne, have been training for months for the Cornhole World Championship. Maggie won the women's solo competition 2 years ago, but now she wants to bring her dad into the championships.
He needed a partner to travel with him, so he picked his favorite child to be his partner, asked me.
It's a real good feeling that I guess we all enjoy this game. I used to be a dairy farmer, which is very time consuming, and spending time with all three of my kids you just didn't take all that time.
The big tournament is this July in Tampa, Florida. Best of luck to the Geigers. You know, I'm from the west side of Cincinnati, and we are under the impression that we invented cornhole. I have no idea if that's actually true, but we will fight you about it. No joking, I love where I'm from. That's probably why I'm still there. Lots of great traditions and businesses and rivalries and all that good stuff. Now, this next thing didn't happen in my neck of the woods, but I could totally see it happening. The owner of a music store challenges neighboring businesses, and the result has an entire community looking for signs, or at least looking at signs. Jen Cardone reports on the clever quips that are capturing everyone's attention.
1 and 2. 3 and 4.
Jim Bohan has been teaching drum and guitar for years, but on the side, he's clever with signs.
So it was just kind of on a whim. I put it up one day. 3 or 4 days went by. They didn't respond, but they put it up there one day, and as soon as I left work that day, I got on my phone and I was starting to get tagged and stuff from Facebook, and the next day it just kind of went crazy.
That response was met with a sassy reply. Our shoestrings are stronger than your guitar strings, quickly spreading to dozens of businesses around town.
I feel it's been really great just to give our community a platform for our local businesses.
Giving Anthony Woodyard the idea to launch a Facebook group that's gone viral, 13,000 people in 1 week.
To see how social media can be used in such a positive way to catapult our businesses into the limelight has been incredibly rewarding.
Business owners like here at Cut It Out Salon, who jabbed Sonic saying, "We wax our customers' buns, what do you do?" Then them tagging the Pizza Inn down the street to come and get a slice of this.
It's so funny to think that just being a small business, you could impact somebody with them reading my sign driving by within a few seconds. It just completely makes me so happy to see that. It just brightens everybody's day.
A war that has brought peace, connecting the community in a positive way.
That's been the biggest thing that I've just seen. Who thought that this much positivity could come out of a war, so to speak?
Making Christiansburg, Virginia, the next big stop for the next laugh that's going to drop.
We just want to be there for our community, and that has very quickly become much larger than Christiansburg, Virginia.
I love that story. Now, do you mind if I blow your mind a little bit? And maybe this won't drop your jaw like it did mine, but this is an engineering marvel, I tells you. Check it out. It's a bridge just being moved on down the Ohio River by barges. Didn't fall into the river, not in need of dire repair. It's just being put in place. The bridge floated about a mile to its permanent location, where it will connect Brilliant, Ohio, and Wellsburg, West Virginia. The move brought out all kinds of onlookers.
Once in a lifetime deal. I wanted to see it. I come down, I watched them raise it 65 feet.
We wanted to see where over $100 million of our money went. And so it come up, check it out, make sure that we get our money's worth.
Are you satisfied with where your money's going?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
I just think that's incredible. The bridge, by the way, should be ready for drivers if you're going to be in Brilliant, Ohio, by October. Well, we've got time for one more to inspire. And I told you before about how much I love my hometown. It's just a cool place. Cincinnati, known for a lot of firsts. The first professional baseball team, first paid professional fire department. The city's first department store, Shillito's, gave people some firsts too, including a job to an eager artist. That job was to help sell merchandise. As Brightside Brad Underwood shows us, the pandemic motivated a former illustrator to draw again.
At 91, Mary Jean Megginson has no trouble keeping busy.
Lunches and movies and anything I could think of.
But when the pandemic kept everyone at home, Megginson's days became long and uneventful.
I exercise every day, I walk every day, and watching TV and reading books. I was getting very bored.
Then her granddaughter, Caitlin Nystrom, made a suggestion.
She says, "Grandma, why don't you start sketching?" And I said, "Caitlin, you know I've got a tremor in my hand. I can't do that." And I hadn't done it for years.
But for years, it was Megginson's life. A career fashion illustrator in Cincinnati for department stores like Shillito's and Pogues. It was her job to draw you into stores to buy the latest clothes and appliances. So she gave her craft another go.
This was the very first one on March 29th, 2020. It was a line pencil.
It all came back, trading watercolors for colored pencils. The bright images pop off paper daily. Big hats, flowy dresses, and powerful-looking women. Then, all of a sudden, a year had passed.
How do you feel now that you've been back drawing for a year now?
Oh, it's fun.
And thanks to Nystrom, the images aren't just shared in the family text chain. Grandma's on Instagram. Her handle, 90 In Sketching.
We've actually had a lot of people reach out and ask to purchase, which is like so flattering and so kind.
It shouldn't be a surprise. The drawings are so well done, so full of detail. Decades after drawing these images of woven baskets, jewelry, coats, and even lingerie, Meghanson's touch is as sharp as ever.
Well, it's been exciting. It really has. And I tell everybody, I think it's saved me from going crazy, because I don't think I could have handled staying in like this and not doing the same old thing.
Brad Underwood, Local 12 News.
And hey, just real quick, check out these photos. This was earlier in the month. Mary Jean finally getting out of the house to celebrate her 91st birthday with her granddaughter, who made the trip to Ohio from New York. The two had afternoon high tea, a tradition when they get together. 90 In Sketching. That is worth a follow on Instagram. And I hope you think this is a video worth sharing, because maybe someone you know needs to take a look on the bright side.